Hello everybody, this is Shadow of the Moon 87, and tonight I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Lately, as you've seen, the only deck profiles that I have on my channel have been Yu-Gi-Oh! Related, but I actually play other card games. I play Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering, as you can see here, a little bit of Pokemon, the new Dragon Ball Super card game that came out a couple years ago. Just pretty much just about any card game that I can get my hands on that I really like. This is going to be my deck profile for my Orc deck, which is a more casual deck. A lot of people wouldn't, they don't consider this a tournament or competitive deck, but I actually really love this deck when I play RPGs, because I'm a big RPG nerd. When I play role-playing games, I always I have even an OC as a character as an orc, but we'll get into that another time. So tonight I'm just going to show you my orc deck that I have, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so first we've got one Zergo Helm Smasher. I only use one in this deck just because you only need one, because he is somewhat costly to bring out, but he's really good. He has haste, and the one thing about this deck that you're going to notice, this is an Orc Dash deck. If you don't know what the dash ability is, it came out near Tears of Dragons of Takir Khan, and it's basically you summon a monster and you're able to attack immediately with it, but the monster gets sent back to your hand during the next player's end step. So as soon as it's the end step, it does go back to your hand, but it's good because it's attack, it's haste, quick, and I mean you can do some serious damage. And most orc cards usually are going to be three threes and up. So I run at least one of him because he's my commander, and I love the artwork. I even went out of my way to make sure I got that one. Okay, you want 4 Warbringers, and this guy is the bread and butter of the deck, because dash spells will cost 2 less to cast with him, meaning most of the cards in here are only going to maybe need to cast for 1 or just 2 or even 0. So get him out on the field, immediately cost 3, and you can immediately start using those dash abilities and just start hammering away at your opponent. Next, I have 3 Zergo Bell Strikers, and he only costs 1 if you want to bring him out. His dash cost is 2, but once again, if you have Warbringer out on the field, you can make his dash cost 0, so he comes out as a freebie. And the only thing is, he can't attack, you can't block creatures with power 2 or greater, but it's fine by me, in my opinion. Just get him out on the field and just start hammering away as quick as possible and stuff. Alright, I have 4 Scream Reach Brawlers, and he casts, for his dash cost is only going to be 2, and then if I have Warbringer, he's free. And he's a 2/3 for 3, and he's just a normal monster. He's not that strong, but using the dash, it'll actually make him cheap. I have 3 Pitiless Hordes. This is more like the promo card. I haven't got the actual one. It is technically the card, but it's the promo, as you can see by the headers. It says March 2015 and stuff. But this dash cost, it's a 5/3 for 3 if I don't want to do it, but his dash cost is 4. He's a 5/3, and at the beginning of my upkeep I just lose 2 life, but he is great because he is a 5/3. He's a brawler. And speaking of brawlers, I've got 4 Battle Brawlers, which great synergy with this deck. As long as I control a red permanent, he gains +1/+0 and has first strike, so he becomes a 3/2 with first strike, and he's really cheap to bring out. He only costs 2. He doesn't have the dash cost, but he's one of the monsters in here that I don't have dash cost for. And then last but not least, Merciless Executioner. I love this guy because he can make it to where as soon as he hits the field, I can make my opponent sacrifice a creature, and I sacrifice him or one of my other ones. And, that can be deadly, especially if they've got a legendary creature on the field. Alright, we're going to do the spells now next. And I only have about 19 spells in here because I usually have room for more mana. But we're going to go with 4 Brute Force, really good for +3/+3 to the end of turn. It's an instant, costs 1 red mana, so it's quick. Attack, use the dash ability, attack, and then just play that, pump it up to like a 5/5 or 6/6 or something, and there you go. 2 battle strains. I'm gonna end up replacing this eventually, but I like it because when a creature blocks, battle damage deals 1 damage to that creature's controller. So if my opponent chooses, hey, I'm gonna choose to block, well, you're gonna be taking that damage plus an extra 1. So it's a really good, it's an enchantment, so it stays on the field. This deck doesn't block that much, so I don't have to worry about it. 2 dragon mantles. I am going to replace this eventually, but for now this is good because it enters the battlefield, draw a card, and then enchanted creature has red. I can keep paying it to creature gain +1 and +0 to the end of turn, so it's a good little pumper. 2 lightning strikes, which I will replace with lightning bolts eventually, but this is just as good. Deals 3 damage to any target. And then 2 gambles, and this is different because gamble, it's a good card because it's a searcher. The only downside is you will have to discard a card at random, so that can be costly, especially if you end up discarding the card that you're wanting to use it on anyways that you used to search for it. But it's good because it searches your deck for a card, any card, and adds it to your hand. So I mean, that's a good little like backup plan in case if I need something, if I need a Warbringer, I need something. 2 Mardu Ascendancies. This is a tricolor deck, and I've splashed white in here, which is Mardu Ascendancy, and you'll see the land that I have for it later. When a non-creature token attacks, I can put a 1/1 red goblin creature token on the battlefield, attacking. That's mainly what I use it for. It has that when I sacrifice it, creatures get +0/+3, but I mostly use it for the tokens because if I bring out Warbringer and then I bring out like Zurgo, Bellstriker, and then bring out Screamer's Brawler, and they're attacking for free, that's an additional 3 tokens, and it gets crazy after a while. And then 4 terminates because it's red and black. Gotta destroy target creature, can't be regenerated. Really good for that. And then last but not least, just 1 Rados Locket, just to give me an extra some more mana if I need it. Sacrifice it, and I can draw 2 cards. So it's whole flavor. And then for my mountains, majority of this is mountains, and then I have a few black in here, about 6 or 7 black swamps in here, and then I've got, where's the other one go? I actually had 4. I don't know where the other one is. I think it's back here. Oh, there we go. Nomad Outpost. This is the one I was talking about. This adds red, black, or white to my mana pool, so use this to bring out Zurgo or Mardus Ascendancy. And then last but not least, 2 Radicos Guildgate, because it adds red and black mana to my mana pool, and that gives me an extra boost. So there you go. It was just a little quick deck profile. I've actually been playing Magic. I started playing when they had the Morningtide and Lorwyn block back in 2007. So that's actually what got me into Magic, because I'm really big into fantasy and high fantasy, so like the idea of having when they came out with fairies, elementals, Kithkin, which are basically hobbits, and like goblins that are like red and black goblins, I was like, wow, this is really cool. And when they had merfolks, that was really cool too. I loved like the lore behind it, and that's what got me into it. My first actual deck was actually Boggart Feast. It was a red and black goblin deck, and I mean, I love that deck to death, and I've had a lot of decks since then, different ones, but by far that was probably one of my favorites because it was just a red and black goblin deck. It wasn't like super speedy, but it had a lot of good effect. A lot of monsters had really good abilities, and I love Magic. And I was gonna show you guys the Shinobu deck profile, but I don't think that deck was ready yet because I don't really have a lot of extra deck cards. It's mainly just a ritual deck with the 40-some cards, and then that's it. So maybe another time I'll show you guys, but I really wanted to show you this because the fact when I play Magic, and I actually have quite a bit of Magic cards, both me and my wife actually play it. And thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.